Hello, my name is Julie. It's the JJ Movie TV Social Screen Reviews, everybody. Right now, I'm going to give you my part 4 top 100 superhero films / comic book films, top 25, everybody. This is it. Let's go down before 2017 happens and we get the new Spider-Man movie and the freaking Wolverine movie, Logan. But let's start off with number 25. 25 is none other than Constantine. I don't know shit about Constantine. I never read the comics. I don't know anything about the character. The only thing I know, he sold his soul to the devil. He's trying to buy his way back. And during this time, we get a great redemption arc to Keanu Reeves' character, and he's expelling demons from people. And this is just a great thrill ride. I was just amazed by this universe I was introduced, and I loved it. Again, never read the comics. Don't know nothing about the character. I just saw the movie. You know, when you see a film and it just surprised you how good it was? That's how I feel about Constantine. Constantine was awesome to me. 25, Constantine. 24, I have Iron Man 3. Very controversial. I know a lot of people hate me because the whole Mandarin twist, and they hate this film because of the Mandarin twist. You know, the Mandarin was definitely not the comic book version. We replaced the Mandarin with Killian, played by Guy Pearce, who has a revenge thing against Tony Stark. He nearly succeeds. He nearly kills the President of the United States, replaces with his own president, commands the West and the East, and he built super soldiers, in some cases, regenerated soldiers with enhanced abilities. You can't go wrong with that. This guy is worked his ass off to get revenge. And overall, it's good. Tony Stark bonds with a little kid. He goes through post-traumatic stress disorder. He has a relationship problem with Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts. I mean, what can I say about Iron Man 3? It's funny. It's awesome. It has great entertainment, great action, a great story. I still love it. You know, the Mandarin twist is stupid as hell, and I wish they had a Mandarin. When you get down to it, it's still dang awesome film. 24, Iron Man 3. 23, I'm going to give to Chronicle. You know those films where you have like Paranormal Activity and Cloverfield, where they have the shaky cam and when they're moving around? Well, 3 young kids from high school, they find some ancient artifact or something, and they get powers. They get powers themselves, and you see this realistic tone of how each character is different, how they play jokes upon people, how they have a good time, then later it turns into a serious thing about their powers, what can they use them for, and ultimately what separates them at the end, what's hero, what's villain, and what's a realistic take if young kids got these powers and what would they do with them. I love Chronicle for showing that. 23, Chronicle, to me it's a superhero film. 23, Chronicle. 22, I'm giving to Captain America the First Avenger. I love Chris Evans as Captain America. Love Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter. Love Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes. Loved a lot of things about this film. It's the origin story of Captain America. You get this young kid who wants to go to World War II to fight Nazis, to fight bullies, and to save people's lives. He wants to do something good for his country. He is a true patriot. Skinny Steve Rogers transformed into muscle pound Steve Rogers, and there are some flaws with this film. The villain, Red Skull, could have been better handled, and some CGI was crap, and a montage of the battle sequences during World War II with Captain America was kind of stupid, but the third act makes up for it because it shows what Captain America sacrificed at the end. He sacrificed everything for the world. He is the first superhero, the first Avenger. He is the first Marvel superhero, and he stands up for a way of hope and for freedom and for prosperity. Captain America, the First Avenger, awesome film. I really enjoyed this freaking film. 22, Captain America, the First Avenger. 21, I'm giving to Kick-Ass. A film that surprised me? Awesome. Aaron Taylor Johnson's Kick-Ass is awesome. Big Daddy, Hit Girl, the motherfucker, awesome. I mean, this is just straight up if a kid wants to be a superhero, he gets an outfit on and he starts fighting crime, and then he becomes an internet sensation, and then costume heroes are being targeting the mob, and the mob wants revenge, and it's just overall a great origin story, and I just love Kick-Ass. Simply put, Kick-Ass is Kick-Ass. 21. Number 20, I'm giving to X-Men First Class, a great origin story for Magneto and Charles Xavier. You get to see Mystique played with Jennifer Lawrence. To me, this was the weakest of Mystique. Well, not kind of X-Men Apocalypse, but still. She did good, Jennifer Lawrence, in her role. We see how Beast was created. We see this first class of X-Men. We see them, how they were formed, how they try to save the world, and ultimately what will lead Charles Xavier and Magneto into two separate paths. I love First Class. Number 20. 19, I'm giving to Superman, which is the 1979 version, which is a freaking Christopher Reeve as Superman. He's amazing. He's awesome. Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor is over the top. Love him and his relationship with Otis Byrne. My favorite Superman scene probably is in this movie, where he catches a bullet and he fakes to faint, and he's like, oh. And I just love the way Christopher Reeve portrayed Clark Kent, and I just loved this film. This was one of my favorite origin films for a while. And yeah, Superman, 1979, or 1989, I'm not 100% sure. It's 1979, or 74. Superman, the old one with Christopher Reeve, is number 19. Number 18, I'm giving to the Wolverine. Say what you will about this film. This film had a great first act, second act. The third act, a little bit messy. It got a little Hollywoodish, but the Wolverine, this takes place after X-Men: The Last Stand. Wolverine's dealing with the fact that he killed Jean Grey. He's dealing with the fact that he's lived this long. He goes to Japan because he wants to see his dying old friend, and during this time he's protecting his dying old friend's granddaughter. And we get this nice little love story. It's a nice little story. It's a nice little redemption arc. It's a nice little thing of Wolverine trying to find himself again, to live again. And you see this, and Beauty of Japan is just awesome. The action is awesome. I got the unrated cut with the blood. It's awesome. This film is awesome. The third act with the Silver Samurai could have been better, but overall, the heart of this movie was Wolverine and him getting back to where he was, to get back to being who he is, and not just to be depressed and suicidal. Wolverine is back in the game, and because of this film, it showed it. It showed the true heart of Wolverine. He's a lone wolf. He's a person that's hurting, and it showed it. 18, the Wolverine. Number 17 is Batman Returns, one of my favorite Christmas movies. Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer, awesome. Dan DeVito's Penguin, awesome. Michael Keaton, my favorite Batman, awesome. One of my favorite Christmas films of all time. I just love this film. Batman Returns is awesome. I mean, for Christmas, you can't. Penguin trying to take over the city. Catwoman is trying to get revenge on Penguin and Batman, and there's just so much story right here. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I spoiled other films. But Batman Returns, go check it out. It's an amazing film, the best of the old Batman films. Love it. 16, I'm gonna give to Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire did a great job as Spider-Man at the beginning. Love the suit. Love Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn. Don't like his suit, but overall, the fight scenes were awesome. The great scene with Uncle Ben. Got the origin story perfectly. Got the perfect Ant-Man and overall, and the perfect Jameson. Loved it. Spider-Man 1, number 16. Number 15 is Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. The first Iron Man film. Robert Downey Jr. stole the show as Tony Stark. You get this dickish character who doesn't care about anything or anybody. He just likes to have sex with women, drink lots of liquor, and creates weapons of mass destruction. Then he realizes in a situation that his weapons killed innocent soldiers. He wants to change his legacy, change everything. Instead of weapons manufacturing, he's going to do it something else like Medical or something else, and he's going to try to rebuild the Stark legacy. He's not going to have this way no more of innocent people dying because of him. And he creates an Iron Man suit to protect people and also so he can live. And yeah, Iron Man, great origin story, love it. Great thing for to start a Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's the founding father. It's the godfather of the Marvel Cinematic Universes. And I think this is actually my favorite Marvel. It's not my favorite Marvel origin story, but still, love the freaking Iron Man. 15 Iron Man. 14, I'm gonna give to Marvel's The Avengers. I know a lot of people would put this higher, but considering the top 100, it's pretty dang up there. I mean, The Avengers was simply amazing. This film was awesome, action-packed. I mean, it had Loki. Loki was a great villain. Hulk was really portrayed well by Mark Ruffalo. Black Widow was pretty dang good. Hawkeye was wasted. Captain America, I didn't like the suit, but he was still good. And to see the Avengers form up for the first time to face an alien army was awesome. The Avengers is awesome, but there are other films to me that's better. 14, The Avengers. 13, I'm going to give to Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy. I enjoyed the shit out of this film. Guardians of the Galaxy was fun. This group felt immediately like a family. I love Rocket. I love Groot. I love Drax. I love Nebula. I love Gamora. And I love Star-Lord. I was going to say Starkiller, but these characters A band of characters just put together. One's dead, thieves, bounty hunters, killers, murderers, join up together to save the world and become a family. Guardians of the Galaxy, go check it out. That's a simple thing I could. But the weakest part, the villain Ronan. But overall, what do you expect from Marvel Cinematic Universe? You can't have everything great. 12, I'm gonna give to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990. I love the 1990 version. This is a superhero film. This is a comic book film. These four fight crime. They're mutant ninja turtles. I love the origin story. They dealt with gang warfare. Luke is being recruited to join gangs. What else do you freaking want? Okay, we got ninjas with ninja turtles that love pizza. We got turtles that love pizza. We got a great fight scene between Shredder and the Ninja Turtles, and not that stupid CGI crap that we get from Michael Bay. This was awesome. The perfect Casey Jones. A great April O'Neil. I love this film. TMNT, 1990, number 12. 11, Watchmen. I know this is controversial, but Watchmen to me was awesome. We get to see a different alternate universe if Richard Nixon would have freaking won the elections and he remained in power, how the threat of nuclear war would be upon us. We see these different groups of superheroes, different origin stories all into one package, technically speaking. And you see what happens if the world turns on the people, and I mean the people turn on the heroes. And I love them. One of my favorite characters is Rorschach, and he says, the whole world will cry, "I'll save us," and I'll whisper, "No." You see how each character views humanity in their own way. Rorschach finds it a disgusting thing. Comedian just laughs at it because he's just like, there's no point. They're all disgusting and violent people anyway. I just love the fact that what each character thought of to humanity and whether or not they could save humanity from themselves. Watchmen was amazing. Granted, it's close to the graphic novel, or sometimes it's not. It's still amazing. I love the soundtrack. I love the picture. This is Zack Snyder's masterpiece, in my opinion. Love the Watchmen. Love the extended cut. I'm going to have to get the Ultimate Edition. But overall, Watchmen, number 11. Number 10, I'm going to give to Daredevil. Yep, Daredevil is the director's cut. I love Ben Affleck as Daredevil. Jennifer Garner played a good Elektra. I mean, if people complain about the freaking romance, who cares? Considering the rest of the romances, they're not that great compared to this. This romance is good. Michael Clark Duncan, may he rest in peace, was a great Kingpin. I don't care if he's black. He's awesome. Colin Farrell's Bullseye. I don't care if he was over the top. He wasn't. He was a perfect Bullseye. A great origin story of why Daredevil became who he is. Granted, he kills in this one, and they took a different take, and his take is whether or not he believes he's a good guy. He kills people that escape justice. This is an awesome story. You get a compelling character, what he's been going through, losing his father, fighting crime his own way, and trying to figure out a better way. At the end, it's a beautiful masterpiece. I love Daredevil. Always will. To this day, director's cut, awesome. Number 10, Daredevil. Number 9, I'm going to give to my favorite superhero film. It's known as Superman 2. Superman 2, Kneel Before Zod. That's all I really gotta say. Zod is here. I think it's played by Terrence Stamp. He's fighting Christopher Reeve's character. Christopher Reeve, Superman. Lois Lane knows the secret. He loses his powers. I say one of my favorite scenes of this movie is the end scene where he gets his powers back, and this one guy who made fun of him in the diner, he just beats him up. I love it. This film was awesome for its time. It's my favorite superhero, it's favorite Superman film. It was one of my, it was like near before Dark Knight came and Batman Begins. This was one of my favorite DC Universe films. DC films. Superman 2, simply awesome. Love it. Number 8, I'm going to give to Captain America Civil War. All these characters. Great introduction of Black Panther, Spider-Man. I like Baron von Zemo. I like his character arc. He's one of the best villains for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in my humble opinion. I like the different conflicts of whether or not who's right, who's wrong. Should we have the government wants regulations for superheroes? Some side with Captain America for not. Some side with Tony Stark to do. And we had great action scenes, great moral standards, and ultimately you can see both sides of the conflict. And I love that about Civil War. Number 8, Captain America Civil War. Number 7, I'm going to give to X-Men Days of Futures Past. The X-Men have to go back in time because right now the end is nigh. The Sentinels are attacking the entire world. The mutants are nearly extinct, and they go back in time to stop the Sentinels from ever being created, and it's about righting the wrongs of their past. Also about Fox's trying to right the wrongs of their past with X-Men Origins Wolverine and X-Men The Last Stand. They're trying to fix up the past of what they have done wrong for their films, and they also, during this film, they're trying to right the wrongs of these characters, of what the mistakes they have done. And ultimately, Mystique becomes technically like an anti-hero, and so does Magneto in many cases. But overall, this film shows the heart of the X-Men, two different generations of X-Men. One for the kids that grew up with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and saw Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Iceman, and then you see the new one where you get the old red breed mixed with the new breed, and it was just awesome. Days of Future Past, I love. The stakes never been higher, and I just love X-Men Days of Future Past. Number 7. Number 6, I'm going to give to Captain America, The Winter Soldier. I love Captain America, The Winter Soldier. I think it's a fantastic film. Captain America, The Winter Soldier dealt with real-life issues about the government taking too much control over the people. You see Steve Rogers adapting to a new time. He has a great relationship with Black Widow, great relationship with Sam Wilson, the Falcon, who they introduced. A great Nick Fury movie. S.H.I.E.L.D. is infiltrated by Hydra. They're getting rid of revenge. The Winter Soldier and Captain America, probably one of the best fight scenes of all time, if not the best fight scene. And it dealt with real life issues, and it's a great film. It shows Captain America as a great action hero, a great fighter, and people love him. This is the film that got Captain America so good, and that people start loving him everywhere. And this film was simply amazing. My favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe film. Captain America, The Winter Soldier, number 6. Number 5, I'm going to give to X-Men 2 United. X-Men 2 United, the X-Men mansion's under attack. The President of the United States almost got killed by Nightcrawler. A great opening scene. Lady Deathstrike appears. William Stryker appears. A little bit of backstory to Wolverine and his origins. What's not to love? The sacrifice of Jean Grey. The hint of the Phoenix Saga, which it was butchered in X-Men Last Stand, but still, a great freaking film. Great action, great storytelling, great stuff that connects. X-Men 2 United, awesome ass film. Number 5, my favorite X-Men film. Number 4, I'm giving to V for Vendetta. This is based off a graphic novel for DC. Some people don't find it a superhero film. Some people don't even find it a comic book film. I love V for Vendetta. It's simply awesome. I just love it. Hugo Weaving as V for Vendetta, a man who's trying to get the people to rise against their government in a futuristic timeline and alternative futuristic timeline. But this movie was awesome. It dealt with stuff about race, gender, fighting for what you believe in, fighting for love, fighting against hate, fight for revenge. V for Vendetta is all about the freedom of choice, all about the freedom to take a stand for what you believe in, and to rewrite the wrongs of the past, and to change everything. And in order to build a new world, you have to tear the old one down. That's a quote from Captain America 2, but when V for Vendetta, number 4 on my list, love it. One of my favorite films of all time. Number 3, I'm going to give to The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight with freaking Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, which was awesome. We got besides Heath Ledger's Joker, we got Christian Bale as Batman, which was awesome. We got a little bit of Scarecrow at the beginning of this dang film. The Joker was awesome. The entire relationship between the Joker and Batman was fully realized in this film. Ultimately, what Batman will sacrifice for the people of Gotham was revealed in this film. And to me, this was more a Joker film, if anything. This was a villain film, straight up true. We got to see the Joker for all he is in all its glory, and Heath Ledger, may you rest in peace, did a fantastic performance. It's an Oscar-worthy performance. It's one of the greatest performances of all time. Love this film. Love The Dark Knight. Number 3. Number 2 is Batman Begins for me. Batman Begins, to me, is better than Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight because this explained who Batman was. We get the character of Bruce Wayne for the first time fully realized. I love Michael Keaton as Batman. He's still my favorite Batman, but Christian Bale and the direction of Christopher Nolan show the origin step by step of how Bruce Wayne became Batman. How the boy who lost his parents grew up to become the Dark Knight. I love this film. A great villain in Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul. Awesome. Katie Holmes did actually her best work, in my freaking opinion, as Rachel Dawes. I mean, to see Michael Caine as Alfred and Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, awesome. This film was amazing. It told the backstory of all these, of Bruce Wayne, how he became Batman, and I just absolutely love this film. My favorite origin story of all time, for all superhero films. I love it. Batman Begins, number 2. And my number one favorite superhero film of all time with top 100 films is Spider-Man 2. Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst have never had better, more chemistry than they did in this film. Spider-Man is sacrificing everything. He's losing this girl that he loves to another man. Mary Jane's getting married. Peter Parker can't make do with his rent sometimes. His Aunt May's losing the house. He's struggling with jobs. He can't afford to do it. It's such a human characteristic of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Peter Parker quits being Spider-Man. He just stays Peter Parker for some of the film. And ultimately, he can't just be Spider-Man. He can't just be Peter Parker. He needs to be both. And the world needs Spider-Man. He can't just be Peter Parker. He can't have this life he lives. And it ultimately shows the sacrifice, just like The Dark Knight, what these superheroes are willing to sacrifice for the greater good and for the greater world. And Peter admits to himself that he needs to sacrifice everything to be Spider-Man. He will always be Spider-Man. A great villain in Dr. Octavius, played beautifully by Alfred Molina. I'm not 100% sure what's his last name. But this film was awesome. Jameson was awesome. More Jameson, more of Aunt May. Some great speech moments, some great action. It's simply great. It's an amazing film. Batman Begins and Spider-Man 2 are in my top 10 films of all time. I love these two films. So everyone, that is my top 100 superhero films. Part 1, Drew 4. This is the last one, and I hopefully you all enjoyed this video. What is your top 100 superhero film? What is your top 10? Let's make it simple. What is your top 10 superhero films? Subscribe if you like. Disagree down below. Leave comment down below. Let me know. Respect my opinion. I respect yours. My name is Lee, signing off for you. Everybody. Bye.